Welcome to your first project. Make sure you review the course introduction video as well as the video announcement I provided about secrets to success and expectations. Now, in this 3-week team project, the first thing you're going to do is meet with your team virtually. Much like you would if you were working for an organization and you were assigned to be a member of a team where members were not in the same location. Happens all the time, so this will be a great experience for you. You're going to choose a client. You're going to choose the best way to communicate within your team. You get to decide that within some leeways. You're going to prepare your client for the crisis, identify threats, choose the messaging strategies, draft that policy recommendation, and of course, make your presentation. This is exactly what happens every day in the real world. Whether you work for a major corporation or a public relations firm, especially those where the team members are spread out. And of course, that's becoming more and more commonplace. So again, there will be some challenges. There'll be some challenges based upon geography and time zone and locations and technology and all those things that we deal with every day. And this will be a good opportunity to work through those challenges, in addition to those things that you'll focus on specifically related to the learning objectives. Now, I'm going to offer you some advice. Review the instructions. Review them again. Before you ask a question or think you don't understand, review them one more time. I promise you, the answers you seek are in the instructions. Make sure you follow the templates that are provided if they're provided for that. And then, of course, incorporate feedback from me and your peers. Now, let's talk a little bit about the grades, okay? Because this is going to be your first graded project. Most of you are going to meet expectations. Just like if you were in the real world, you're going to meet expectations. A rare few may exceed expectations. Again, like in the real world, most of us meet expectations and we're happy doing our job and we do our job well and we move on. There may be some superstars that exceed those expectations. But here's my advice. Don't focus on the grade. No one, and I mean no one, is ever going to ask you what your grade was in crisis communication when you're in a job interview, right? Or working in an organization. No one's going to ask you because no one cares. What they care about is what skill, what experience, what expertise you bring to the job. So focus on that. Focus on getting as much experience, practical experience that you can out of this course and every course so you can apply that to your public affairs, public relations, or communication practice. Okay, Confucius once advised that we hear, we forget, we see, we remember, we do, and we understand. We want to understand. So we must do as much as possible for each of these projects, right? As if we were working in a real organization. It's not about rote memorization or all this academia practice that sometimes can cloud our judgment or just get in the way. Everything's based on theory, of course, and there's some academic rigor that's involved. But when it comes right down to it, it's about putting that into practice. We must practice as if we're really doing this in a real organization. Now, of course, we don't want anyone to fail to meet expectations. Again, most of you will do just fine. You'll meet them. A rare few may exceed them. We don't want anyone to fail to meet them. So if you're struggling, make sure you reach out. If you have any questions, any difficulties, that's what I'm here to help with. All right, a very brief review of our schedule through this project. I encourage you to look at the schedule inside the syllabus and follow the calendar. That calendar, online calendar, is your best friend to make sure you're on time, on track, okay? Week 1, introduce yourself in the discussion area. Make sure you review the syllabus, review all the course projects. I recommend you do that right up front because, it's an iterative process. And so even though we're in project 1, things that you learn about what's expected in project 2, 3, 4, and 5 will help inform what you do in project 1. So go ahead and review all those projects right now. And then, of course, beginning in earnest to work on project 1. That's steps 1 through 5. Week 2, continue to work on project 1. Those are steps 6 through 9 and incorporate any feedback that you've gotten. And then week 3, that's a big one. That's when you complete and submit your project. Okay, incorporate feedback if necessary, and you may have to resubmit. So be prepared for that. If you're way off course and you need another opportunity to succeed, there'll be a resubmittal. Okay, so that's your project. I'll give you the same advice as I give many students. Make sure you stay ahead. Make sure you stay engaged, especially with those discussions and peer reviews. And most importantly, enjoy your time of learning.